We're also learning that several of these children were under Department of Juvenile Services supervision when they allegedly committed additional crimes. Tonight, our team of reporters is looking into problems within DJS. We begin with Mikenzie Frost, who talks one-on-one with Ivan Bates.
Today, I'm joined by the leaders of my juvenile division.
A news conference announcing the takedown of 20 juveniles held by City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. Noticeably absent, Mayor Brandon Scott, originally slated to appear, but Wednesday morning.
So Mikenzie, actually, I will not be at the press announcement later today, which is why I wanted to make sure that I let my folks know that work for me, BPD, and also, as you know, this is a way that this news was broken yesterday, so that we can make sure that folks heard from me directly.
The news he's talking about coming from another outlet, and Bates says the mayor shared more details than what's legally allowed to be in the public. Did the mayor put the case in jeopardy by talking about some of these details?
We had a meeting with the judge, and the judge explained to us under the law where you deal with confidentiality that we could not talk about any of the details publicly. And if they did, we're very sure the public defender will file motions to dismiss every single case. That's what I'll say about that.
After the news conference, Bates sitting down with me for an exclusive interview, and I pressed him more on the fate of this investigation now. The details that have been released, are you concerned about what that means for these cases moving forward in terms of potentially putting that in jeopardy?
Based on the information that I read, yes, there is concern. We worked really hard, and to open up your computer and read those facts, I'm not saying they're true, I'm not saying they're not. I'm gonna listen to the judge. The judge makes the rules, enforces the rules. But yeah, it caused me great concern because it flew in the face of everything that we were told we couldn't do.
The 20 juveniles involved in this sweep have records, reiterating what Fox 45 News has been investigating for months. Time and time again, kids, some already under the supervision of the Department of Juvenile Services, getting involved in more crimes. For months, Fox 45 News reporting juveniles repeatedly picked up by police for allegedly stealing cars, only to be released without charges. Surveillance video capturing examples of juveniles trying to carjack people or even assaulting them. DJS under fire for the apparent catch and release cycle of some of these young people.
One of the things that we do with our major investigation unit, led by Sam Mildenberg, we usually focus on more violent gangs and crimes in the city. But we decided to take those resources from focusing on those groups and focus on these juveniles.
If the Department of Juvenile Services was doing their job and holding these kids accountable, would you have had to divert all of these resources from your office to focus on this?
That's a difficult question in a lot of ways. I feel that if the system was working properly, no, we wouldn't. DJS is part of the system, is one part of the system. But also, I think some of the laws also are another part of the system.
Bates says he felt compelled to get involved in the juvenile crime crisis, even as law changes are debated in Annapolis, especially as more and more people in Baltimore City become victims of these types of crimes.
So who's going to speak for them? I felt it was only right that my office and that we spoke for them.
Is DJS capable of making sure that those kids are held accountable?
Well, you know, the General Assembly and the governor are giving DJS a lot more resources. And anytime you have more money and more resources, you have the opportunity to have more programs. And that makes me confident. With the partnership I have developed with the governor, I know the governor is an optimist as well. If it doesn't, I'll be the first one around to ring the alarm.
I'll hold you to that.
I know you will.
In Baltimore, Mikenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.